Tawney was very much idolizing relationships with boys in her teen years, very deceptive, and you could see how sin was ruling her life at that time. After getting saved, you now know that God is controlling her life, that she's wanting to do what would please Him more than anything else. When she came home from Masters, after graduating there, she was a totally different girl. Her faith was now hers. Often you could almost see her confronting her mom and dad with sin, not necessarily us with her. She had become mature. She knew what was expected of her by what Scripture would tell us.
The change I saw was as a young adult, and that was when I think coincided with her attending Masters and seeing the evidence of salvation in other young adults that didn't match who she said she was. And that at that point, where God made that clear to her, really is where I saw her faith change.
Her humility and her demeanor was different. There was something different about her. And like I said, the deception part, as much as we saw it, we didn't know the depth of it, and what God had to bring her through to get her to the point of brokenness and ultimately salvation. But we got to see the fruit of it when she came back into our lives, that she was teachable and humble and wanted to honor the Lord in everything.
She became much more independent. She didn't need mom and dad to protect her anymore in her faith. She was willing to say no to the things she needed to say no to now herself.
Tawney is very intentional. So everything she does, she thinks through, and she wants to honor the Lord in those things. And so her as a mom, she is no different. She thinks through, she's intentional. She wants to serve her husband, she wants to serve the Lord, and she loves the church. And that has been modeled to her from her parents, and she has taken that to the next level.
It's funny because her mom and I joke at the way we raised her and the way she's raising her daughters. We're seeing her try to be probably more biblical in her raising of the kids than we were. That in essence represents a new life to us, that she's not following our pattern, the things we necessarily raised her on, but what she's learned from Scripture, a change in life.
Tawney was deceived and a deceiver, and became a pursuer of truth, and that is where life changed for her.
I'm very proud of my daughter. I know it's that nothing her mom and I have done. It's totally by the grace of God that she has turned out as godly of a woman as she has.